Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going through my entire physical TBR and I'm going to count all the books on my physical TBR that I have yet to read, and I know it's going to be a lot, so let's get started. Okay, so starting at the bottom on the very left of my shelves, I keep all of my holiday and fantasy book of the months. So I have like some Josie Silver books, book of the month ones, and then these are all fantasy picks that I get from book of the month. I haven't read The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. This one's a Nutcracker retelling, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, it says a novel of the Nutcracker up there. So this one I'm saving for Christmas, for December obviously, but it's a reimagining of the Nutcracker, telling the tale of twin sisters divided by envy and magic and set against each other one fateful Christmas Eve. So that one sounds fun. And then a lot of these I've gotten like at thrifts at like Second and Charles. So Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. This one's has magic, I believe. So this one would have been a good one to read in October. And then Hera by Jennifer Saint. This one is obviously a Greek mythology retelling about Hera, and this one was my August pick for the month, but I didn't get to read it. I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to read it for so long. Darling Girl by Liz Mikowski. This one's a Peter Pan retelling, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet. This one I also got in August, A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher, and I don't even know what this one's about. Maybe magic, because Sorceress. Got that one. The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. Small Angels. And those are all of the book of the months down here that I have not read. And then it goes up into like more of my holiday, like seasonal books. I have my seasonal books, and fantasy is all over here. So I have The Priory of the Orange Tree series, or duology. I guess it's just a duology. But I have those two over here. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to read these. They're so thick. But I still have them, just in case. And then most of these holiday books I have read. I just got The Wedding Witch, which is the third book, I guess, in the X-Hex series by her. But this one's a Christmas one. And then I have The Honey Witch. Also, it's like a cozy fantasy, but I tried to read it and I DNF'd it. So I don't know if I'll ever get to this. Maybe try it again next year, or if I'm feeling like a cozy fantasy. And then that's all on that shelf. Hellbent, I haven't read the second book. That's the second book to Ninth House, which I haven't read yet. I need to read all these TJ Klune books. And then Fable by Adrienne Young. I wanted to get into the Aragon series. I'm not sure if I will, but I'm going to try. Crave, the Crave series. Stephen King. And then down here I have two good, like, that I thought would be good Dark Academia or Fall books. So when I switch out my TBR cart later, I might put these on there. And then I just have another copy of Ninth House and Hellbent, so those don't count. Sorcery of Thorns. I feel like this reminds me of A Court of Thorns and Roses, especially like the original covers. Like, I don't know, they look similar, don't they? I don't know. And I don't even know if like the plots are similar, but I thought that would be good. I want to read Fable, but it just seems so, like, the words are so small, and I feel like I won't be able to pay attention. Princess Bride. I started this series, A Deadly Education, and I got the second book, but the first one, I don't even remember what happened. So we may or may not read this one. And I need to read the third book in this series by V.E. Schwab. And I also have The Thorns Remain by, I don't know how to say his name, J.J.A. Harwood? I don't know. And then up here I have Night Circus, which I feel like gives like Carville vibes, so I think I would really like it. It's just the fact, as you can see, I have so many books that I think I get overwhelmed and don't know what to read. That's why I have so many books on my TBR. Ace of Spades, Thieves Gambit, The Raven Boys, A Letter to the Luminous Deep, House of Heart and Sorrow. I really want to get into Lightlark because obviously it's going to be a trilogy, and the second book just came out in paperback, and there's a brand new like collector's edition of this book, and it's stunning, and I really want to read this and hopefully enjoy it so that I can get the collector's edition because it's beautiful. And this is a YA fantasy, I believe, obviously with dragons, called Impossible Creatures. That I thought some Mary Pearson books, A Kiss of Deception, which comes before the Dance of Thieves duology, and then I need to read the second book in the duology. And then, let's see, Daughter of the Pirate King, Legendborn, The Lost Bookshop, Trial of the Sun Queen, River Enchanted, and then I need to finish the last two books in the Stalking the Jack the Ripper series. So that was that whole shelf, and then this whole shelf, the only ones that I haven't that has books that I haven't read are on the bottom two shelves. Here I have some of my bigger fantasies. So I haven't read The Phoenix King by Aparna Burma. I don't know how to say that name. Curious Tides, Where the Dark Stands Still, Gothicana, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, The Wren in the Holly Library, These Violent Delights, which I've been wanting to read for so long. I really need to get to it, and The Hurricane Wars. And then on our second, and then right above that, I have the second book in the Renegades trilogy, Arch Enemies. I tried to read this a couple months ago, but I was just like in a reading slump and it wasn't what I wanted to read, so I put it back, and I do want to finish this trilogy sometime this year. And I have the rest of the Mortal Instrument series. I've read the first two, I believe, and then so I have the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth one, and then I have the first books in the two other series of hers. And then I have Cassandra Clare's newest book, The Swordcatcher, because I do like her writing, and I just wanted to have all of her books. Okay, and then these are some of my hardcover romances and Book of the Month romances. So I have The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. I read Josie Silver's Christmas novels and I really liked them, and I found that one like on sale somewhere. My Magnolia Summer by Victoria Benton Frank, which I was meant to read in the summer, but I didn't get to it. I have Coco Meller's new book, Blue Sisters. Cleopatra and Frankenstein wasn't my favorite, but this cover was just really pretty, and I think the storyline of this one just seems more intriguing and like more like probably something that I would enjoy. And then The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, and Just Some Stupid Love Story by Caitlin Doyle. And then for the Book of the Month ones that I haven't read, The Second Chance Year by Melissa Wisner, I think. For some reason I can't read cursive. And then this one is by India Holton. I think she wrote the Wisteria Society of Scoundrels, or whatever those books are called. This one's the Ornithologist Field Guide to Love. So it kind of has like a different It's in the romance section, but it has more of like a fantasy element, I guess, to it. And then this one my mom just gave to me recently. She read it when she went on a trip somewhere. And it's kind of about a plane trip, and it's kind of freaky. But it's called Here One Moment, so want to read that one. And then right here is my young adult romance. So I have The Lovely War, and this one's a historical fiction romance, I believe, which I love historical fiction and I love romance, so that's why I bought it. I have the second book in the Way I Used to Be duology, I guess. I have You Reach Sam, Liar's Beach, Looking for Alaska by John Green. I actually got that far in and I DNF'd it. Even though it's such a short book, I just wasn't feeling it at the time, but I do think I want to go back to it just because it is a short book. And then Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone, Holding Up the Universe, and The Idea of You by Robin Lee. And I do want to read this so I can watch the movie. Majority of this shelf I have not read yet. So I have a novel, Summer by Jamie Brenner. I bought this one because the main character's name is Shelby, so it's like, you gotta get that one. And a lot of romances, I like these, I tend to pick up in the summer, so I'm kind of past my romance mood. I'm in a big fantasy and mystery mood, so I don't know how many romances I'm gonna get to in the winter months, but we'll see. The Last Chance books, the Wrong Mr. Darcy, X's and O's, and The Catch by Amy Lee, or Leah. I have 3 Elena Armas books, The American Roommate Experiment, The Long Game, and The Fiancé Dilemma. Olivia Blake's Alone with You in the Ether, 2 Nicholas Sparks books, Dreamland and Counting Miracles, The Last Letter to Your Lover. I got this because I wanted to read it and watch the film. And then I have a Rebecca Yarros romance in here because I wanted to read like something else. Like she wrote Fourth Wing, so I wanted to see like what her romances were like. Before We Were Strangers, Funny You Should Ask, Once More with Feeling, and then Taylor Jenkins Reid, Forever Interrupted. On up the shelves, these are books that are more like my favorites and like my favorite series I've majority have read, or it might be like one book that in the series that I haven't read yet. So let's see, I haven't read The Worst Best Man by Lucy Score. I bought this book because the cover I thought was really pretty, and I normally don't buy her books because I can read, I think all of her books are Kindle Unlimited, but this one, the cover was just so pretty. So had to get that one. And then I have all my Elle Kennedy books over here, and let's see, I haven't read The Deal yet, which these are both, this is the old cover of The Deal and then the new covers, and then I have these two, The Graham Effect and The Dixon Rule, which I feel like I buy her covers because they're cute and not because, like, I read Girl Abroad and I did like her writing, I didn't like the plot, so that's why I have so many. I'm hoping that I'll find one of her books that I enjoy the plot in. And then this shelf, let's see, I have these new, like, they're not new, but they've just been republished and like improved by Sarah Adams, The Match and The Enemy, and I really liked her writing in Practice Makes Perfect and When in Rome. I think When Practice Makes Perfect is like my favorite book by her. And then I also have The Rule Book, which is also new. And then the Love Light Farms series, I have these 2 books left, In the Weeds and Business Casual, and I realized I didn't read them in order. This one is the first one, but they're all standalone, so I don't think it matters. But I think it's going to bother me that I didn't read them in order, but it doesn't matter. And then The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. And Christina Lauren, I have The True Love Experiment, Something Wilder, and Tangled Up in You. And then my Catherine Center books, the only one I haven't read yet is Hello Stranger. The ones on the top shelf are all books I've read. They're my favorite books. Some of my favorite romances and authors. In the bottom of the last shelf, I have my hardcover fiction and mysteries, I guess. So I have The Wedding People by Alison Espach, I think. I don't know how to say that, but this cover is so beautiful and I thought the plot was very interesting. I have a John Grisham book, The Testament, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and then the rest are my book of the month fiction and mystery books, which a lot of these I have not read. So Hester is a Scarlet Letter retelling, I think, about Hester Prynne, which I thought was really interesting because I read that in high school. And then I have Hello Girls by Brittany Cavallero and Emily Henry. I think it's like one of her first books that she read. The Glittering Hour, which I think is like a 1920s novel. An Ellen Hilderbrand book, The Hotel Nantucket, which I recently got into her books this year, so maybe next summer I'll read more of hers. Red Clocks. And this one is, I don't even know what a lot of these are about. About abortion and 5 women, I think, who are going through different things, and yeah, I thought that was a really interesting storyline. The English Wife. I think this is where I start my mysteries. So, The English Wife, Only If You're Lucky, The Disappearance of Astrid Bricard, First Lie Wins, The Hunting Wives, and that's all of my book of the month that I haven't read. I have Sally Rooney right here. The only one I haven't read yet is Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I feel like you have to be in like a certain mood to read Sally Rooney, so I'm saving that one. Beautiful Boy by David Sheff. 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Rohr. I don't know how to say her name. These are the books that I bought that I read that Harry Styles likes. So I was saving those for a video, like reading Harry Styles' favorite books, maybe. What else? The Handmaid's Tale is a classic I've been wanting to read. And A Tale of Two Cities. I love The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, I think. So I bought this one, I Am the Messenger. Just haven't gotten to it yet. And this one, I think it's like a joke thing, like that someone published after Tortured Poets Department came out. So I bought it. And The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. These are all of my mysteries, which I don't have a lot, but I do like mysteries. So I have some Riley Sager books that I haven't read yet. The House Across the Lake, Vinyl Girls. I haven't read Lucy Foley, The Guest List, A Flicker in the Dark, Tell Me Lies, which I feel like I want to read because everyone's watching the show right now on Hulu, so I need to start that soon. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club, which this one was really interesting because it's about like a retirement home, and these 4 people, I guess they're old people, like discuss unsolved crimes, and like they like call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. So I think that's an interesting little plot there. The Stolen Book of Evelyn Aubrey, and then I have 2 books from the Truly Devious series. I don't know how long the series is, but I have the 2nd and 3rd, The Vanishing Stair and The Hand on the Wall. And then I feel like this is the next book I want to read, Riley Sager's Middle of the Night, I love this cover. I love the green. I think it's so cute. And then I have The Last to Vanish by Megan Miranda, and these two books that are mysteries by Rachel Hawkins, which this is also Erin Sterling. Rachel Hawkins also writes as Erin Sterling, who is the author of The XX and The Kiss Curse and all that stuff, which I think is really interesting, but these covers are also really pretty. And then up here are a combination of fiction and then like my YA, some more YA mysteries. So I have 4 Kristen Hanna books that I haven't read yet. I'm really into Kristen Hanna right now. So I got these two for my birthday, Homefront and True Colors. And then I'm borrowing these two from my mom, so I probably need to read these like really soon. Summer Island and The Four Winds. And then I also wanted to read this is fall, but it's kind of a long book, but it's A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This one's like I think it's a classic, I'm not really sure. And then it goes into my Ellen Hildebrand books. And the only one I didn't get to yet is Golden Girl. And then I have Jennifer Lynn Barnes books. This is her other series besides The Naturals and The Inheritance Games. This one is just a duology, I'm pretty sure, and it's like, it has debutantes and mystery, which I thought was really interesting. Then One of Us is Lying. We have the Good Girl's Guide to Murder novella and Five Survive by Holly Jackson. Romance, like overflow romance, and then some of my favorite like fiction books. So this is the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels that I was talking about by India Holton, and this one I started in DNF. I just couldn't get into it, but I do want to read it, and there's 3 books in that little series. And then I want to read You with a View by Jessica Joyce because I read The X-Files this year and I loved it. It's a 5-star book for me. Sophie Cousins' The Good Part. Float by Kate Merchant. That was a summer book that I wanted to get to, but I just didn't get to it. The Lost Ticket by Freya Sampson. 4 Weekends and a Funeral. Ready or Not by Carly Balstone. And these Lucy Gilmore books, The Library of Borrowed Hearts and the Lonely Hearts Book Club. I really want to read this so I can watch the movie, Red, White, and Royal Blue. And then these two are The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, which I mainly bought because the cover is so cute. And then this one by Melanie Harlow. I liked the little sprayed edges, like the kisses on the side. I thought it was super cute. And then these are my Frederick Bachman books, and I still need to read the 2nd and 3rd book in the Beartown series. So I was kind of saving these for the winter because it takes place in Sweden and it snows, and I feel like just the winter time is the best time to read those. So that's my physical TBR on my shelf. Go ahead and count like everything that I've gone over so far, and then we'll look at what's left on my TBR card. 183 books so far on my shelves, and then my TBR card will add a little bit more to that. So I have a lot of books to read. So everything else on here, this is my TBR card. So I have some of my books that I wanted to get to in October before Halloween, but obviously it's not gonna happen. So I have Casket Case by Lauren Evans because this one takes place in Alabama, which I thought was really cool, and the author is from Alabama, so gotta support local authors. I have Stephen King, Salem's Lot, and In Charm's Way by Lana Harper. And then on my October TBR, I still have Halloween Party by Agatha Christie left, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, and Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. I have Stephen King's Carrie. I just got this novella by M.L. Rio, which I love. If We Were Villains. It's one of my favorite books of all time, so when she released this novella, I was like, I have to have it. And it's a really short and sweet book, so I definitely think I could finish that this month. And then I have another like witchy book, Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I just loved the cover. I thought it was so cute and fall. And then these are more like dark academia books. House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. A Lesson in Vengeance. This one's like a mystery, I think. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. And Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown. This is a book of the month that I had picked. One of them that I had picked this month. And it's The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. But if any of you watched Shadow and Bone, Freddie Carter, who plays Kaz, voices the mailman character in the audiobook, and I think I'm saving it. I have to listen to it on audio because I love, like, he would be perfect. Like, I could listen to his voice all day. And then I have these two romances that I just got. How to Hide in Plain Sight by Emma Noyes? I'm not sure how to say her name. And then Talking at Night by Claire Deverly. And then, so that's more my immediate TBR. And then down here are just extra. So I just got this Christmas novella, Spectacular in the Carvel series by Stephanie Garber. So this one's gonna go on my December TBR. And I just put it on here because I didn't have any room anywhere else. And I have some fantasies that I want to start. I've been wanting to read Half a Soul for so long, and same with Wayward. And this one, I've been wanting to start this series for so long, especially since the covers have been redone. And I've heard really good things, and Ember in the Ashes, so I do, like, really want to start this soon. And I think, again, like, I think what, like, I get, like, discouraged by my TBR is that I don't switch it out enough, I think. And I think if I switch it out more, it might be easier for me to, like, stick to something and, like, read a variety of things. I don't know if that makes sense. I have the second book, to Assistant to the Villain, and then I have the new Percy Jackson book, Wrath of the Triple Goddess. I really want to get into a Red Queen, because that's a classic 2014 dystopian fantasy, okay? We have to read it. The third book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I have some romances. So I have a Hannah Bonham Young book, Next of Kin. And then I want to read another Catherine Zenner book. This isn't like the regular fiction. It's also going to be a show on Netflix, or I don't know if it already is. But I thought that one would be interesting. And then The Love Scribe by Amy Myerson. This one has like some magical realism in it, and I feel like that's one of my favorite plots in books, I've noticed. Lease on Love. I really want to read this. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. It's a more of an emotional romance, and I feel like those are perfect for the fall. Like, that's the kind of romance that I like would want in the fall, and not like the light stuff, rom-com-y stuff. And I've had this on here for so long. One Day by David Nichols. I bought it because I wanted to watch the Netflix show. So, but I've heard like mixed things about it, so I don't know if I'll ever get to it. But those are all of the books that are on my physical TBR. So let me count everything else. I have 214 books on my physical TBR. So I need to come up with some sort of game plan, a book buying ban, to get through some of these, because it's kind of ridiculous. So that's my physical TBR. Maybe I'll make like a video series of me trying to get through my physical TBR. If you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments, or if you have any other ideas that I should do, leave those as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!